Are you an international student and you've been trying to get a job since you landed here in Canada? I know this can be an herculean task for you because of the past experience you've had before. It's not the same, and it's not the same requirements here in Canada. So today I'm going to be sharing some tricks and tips on how I got 2 jobs within 1 week here in Canada. So the first thing is you need to get a resume. There's nobody that is going to hire you without a resume here in Canada. Of course, some people do based on a referral, but they will still need your resume for the sake of record keeping. Okay, so you need to get yourself a resume, and I know it's not everybody that can come up with a fantastic resume. So this is why I would recommend some applications that you can use or some websites that you can use to revamp your resume or create a fantastic Canadian standard resume. You can use resume.io. It gave me different options, different ideas about what to do, what the job expectations are going to be like, and what the job description is going to be. It's going to give you like a Canadian format that you can use to apply for jobs here in Canada. Now, some of them you might have to pay for subscription, while some of them they would come with like a 7 days free trial. So you can use those ones to revamp your resume and cancel the subscription before the end of your 7 days free trial. So the next tip, figure out the kind of jobs you want to do. What do you have passion for? What are the things that you love to do? For example, if I love to bake, you would not expect me to apply for a mechanic job, or you would not expect me to apply for an electrician job or something. So you know your limit. My next point, go to job websites. I recommend Indeed, I recommend LinkedIn, I recommend Glassdoor. I specifically love Glassdoor because it gives you an idea about what the company is about, what you should expect in terms of the environment, the work environment. If it's an hostile environment, they would put it there. So that's why I'm recommending Glassdoor. You can go to LinkedIn, create an account, and set up your account. It's also the same thing on Indeed. If you go to Indeed, create an account on Indeed, you can explore the job banks. I'm sure they have different options. It's going to show you the last posted, and it's also going to show you some jobs have been posted for the past 3 months and they are still there. You do not want to target those kind of jobs. You want to look at jobs that are just recently posted. For example, jobs that were posted like 3 weeks ago at the highest, because a job that was posted 3 weeks ago, I'm sure they would have gotten a candidate for that role. So you do not want to really bother yourself for jobs like that. Let me search using my computer here so I can give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Admin assistant. In my resume, I'm going to impute that in my former job, I do travel arrangements. So I managed travel arrangement plans for the drivers, or for example, I managed travel arrangement plans for the CEO. So I put it there such that it's giving like an idea of the exact job that you actually did in your previous place of work, even though you do not have the Canadian experience. So you want them to believe that you already have a Canadian experience and you can share your experience with them. Make sure you pick 1 or 2, 3 things from the job responsibilities that they are asking for and impute it in your resume, so that when the ATS software, there's an ATS, they say automated tracking system software that they use to filter these resumes from thousands and hundreds of people that have applied for the same job, so that it narrow it down to the top numbers of people that has the requirements that they are looking for. So you also want to be part of those people. Just do anything to get into the door, so that you can get interviewed, and at least you'll be able to prove yourself that you are qualified for this job. So these are the things I would advise you to do, is to just make sure that your resume slightly aligns with the company is currently looking for. You don't have to do copy and paste. Just tweak the words, but make sure that you do not lose the entire communication in that resume. My next trick is, after you have revamped your resume, you've ensured that everything is intact, remove your personal address from your resume. So the next thing is you apply. Now, what I usually advise anybody to do, because this is exactly what I had to do when I see jobs on job websites, as much as possible, especially Indeed or LinkedIn, I do not apply directly from that website, from that job website. The reason is because there are tons and thousands and hundreds of people that are doing the same thing, and you really want to stand out. You really want to be sure that you're doing something different that every other person is not doing. So I avoid applying directly from those websites. For example, on this job application or job adverts that I just saw, it shows administrative assistant. It's Fidelis Law Droit. That's the name of the company that is hiring for that position. So I go to the name, to the company's website. I just click on it and go to their careers. The same job advert that you saw on Indeed, I'm definitely sure is going to be on the company's website too. The reason why I said this is so that you'll be able to follow up with your application. Now, I had been applying wrongly to jobs because I failed to follow these steps. I had been applying and I wasn't getting any feedback. On an average in a week, I would apply to like 15 different jobs per week. I just apply. And because of this, I have several resumes for several reasons. For example, they are looking for this. I'm sure this is a law firm. So they are looking for an administrative assistant for the law firm. If you're applying for an administrative assistant in a logistics and transportation company, the requirements will definitely be different. So you would want to also tweak your resume to fit into what they are looking for, right? That means you would have multiple resumes that will fit into different jobs. For example, you're applying for administrative assistant. Tomorrow you're applying for customer service. Next tomorrow you're applying for a warehouse order picker. So you want to have different resumes for different positions like that. Do these things and ensure that you follow these tricks so that you'll be able to get a job. Like I said earlier, I followed this trick and I was able to get 2 jobs within 1 week. So after you have done this, you have applied on the website. Now give them a day or 2. Now the next thing is you need to follow up. This part of applying for jobs is what a lot of people always skip, and you do not know that this is like the most important part of it, because you are applying for a job and hundreds of people are also applying for that job. You're contending with people that are Canadians that are also looking for jobs. Maybe they just recently got laid off from their job, from their work, and then they are looking for something, or people that are also looking to advance in their careers. They're also looking to apply. They're probably applying for the same job as you. And of course, as an international student, you're also, your classmates, your friends, your people, every other person is also applying for the same job. So you want to be sure that you're standing out. Now, what I did was that I made sure that I followed up. Following up is very, very important. Now, remember I said you should not apply from the jobs website. You should go to the company's website and apply. Now, the reason why I said that was that I'll be able to have their contact number, maybe a follow-up email address or a follow-up phone number or something. But sometimes you can randomly call these companies and say, hey, my name is this. Just introduce yourself and say, oh, I applied for this job position, administrative assistant with your company. I dropped my resume and it's been 3 days. I haven't been able to get a response from you. I hope I'm not missing out any information that is required. I'm just following up with my application and to see how successful I'm going to be. And so with that, you can say, I will be waiting for your call or maybe feedback from you in order to be able to guide me on what next to do in my career. So I will drop my phone number. If you're sending an email, make sure you put in your contact information so that if the recruiter wants to contact you, it's going to be easier for them. So I did this and I got a call the following day from the recruiter. So after following up, I'm sure you'll be able to get a feedback. And if you don't get a feedback from the company, just know that the job is probably not for you. You just keep applying. Okay, do not give up. That's one thing I would tell you. Now, After doing this, don't say because you've applied for one job you will not apply for any other job again. Just keep applying and see which other ones would benefit you in the long run. I would also recommend some sort of outside activities that you can do. Make sure that you network, go for job fairs and all those things. Ensure you network with other people. When you meet people, tell them what you do. If you're looking for jobs, you might be lucky, somebody might be able to refer you for a job here in Canada. So another thing that I would want to say is that ensure that you have certifications. For example, when I was going to apply for these jobs as an international student, of course, it has to be something, not anything serious. In all of this, ensure that you're mentally prepared for anything. These guys can call you at any point in time to say, hey, are you ready for an interview? Make sure that you do your research, go on YouTube, go on Google. Just I have this list of questions that I always ask the recruiters, and every time these questions always throw them off balance because they would never expect me to ask them that kind of question. So, bonus tip, and for anybody that is listening or watching this video, is to get yourself a mentor. Now, people do not talk about this a lot because we feel like we can do these things ourselves, but unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. When you get yourself a mentor will be able to tell you that, okay, your resume looks okay for whatever thing you're trying to apply for, and they will give you like an information, maybe just a letter, or let's say just a word that might be missing in your resume. They'll be able to show you and tell you that this is how things are done, these are the places you should apply to, these are the ways that you should push yourself. Getting a mentor would definitely make things easier for you. If you're just new in Canada as an international student, I'm sure schools also organize seminars like this. You might want to reach out to one of your campus directors or anything. I'm sure they have open door policy where you can walk in and ask questions. So with these tips of mine, I'm sure if you apply it, I'm sure you'll be able to get called for multiple interviews if you go through these processes. I'm sure it's a difficult phase for everyone, but I am encouraging you that you should not give up. Like I would always say, in everything, even if you do not get called for interviews, make sure that you do not give up, because now we'll give up, fuck up, right? So I'm going to be seeing you guys in my next video. I hope you found this very interesting and informative enough. If you can relate to this, please drop your comments in the comment section, and I'll be so willing to respond to you and give you my own form of advice. I'm going to see you in my next video. See you again, sometimes again, next time. Bye bye.